Welcome back. I'm coming back with this. I was listening to this song the other day and I ignored it. It's been about 2 weeks since I heard this song. And when I heard it, something came to my mind and I said, I'm going to ignore it because I'm like, I don't want to talk about this. Because I felt like it wasn't a necessity. But it came back to me again and it would not let me go. So I'm going to talk about the song, This Woman's Work, because what the Lord showed me was a perspective of what happens when a person misses it. What happens when a man or woman makes a decision that when they know something, that they choose not to do something. They choose to ignore. It was funny. I was watching a video by Bowl for Christ, and she was making the point of saying that she was talking about the scripture from Songs of Solomon, where the woman was sitting in bed and her lover came to the door, and because she didn't want to get dressed, because she was too prideful to put on her robe and put on her shoes to walk over to the door and open it, the man was gone. Some people, and sometimes you miss it. Sometimes you don't understand that if you don't make a choice, if you don't make a decision, if you don't make a shift, if you don't choose to walk into what belongs to you, it doesn't always have to be there when you're ready for it. And it's the truth. People miss out on situations all the time because they waited 5, 10, 15 years to do something about it, and they expected that thing to wait for them. And it didn't. Now, am I saying this is my issue? No. I'm having a great relationship with God right now. I will wait for my God ordained spouse until he comes. But there are some that won't. There are some that are impatient. There are some that want to intimidate and sit up there and tell somebody, you better do this when I tell you that you should do this. But I'm here to say something about this. There are people that are going to miss out. But sometimes it's a flip back and forth as to how that's going to be. But I'll tell you this, when it comes down to a person, as a praying person that has stood and prayed and covered and did, I'm going to give you this reflection. When it comes to me standing for my God ordained spouse, I pray for 3 hours for that man. When it comes to praying for the person I was with prior to, I only pray when unctioned. I only pray when the Lord's desire is. And I had to repent when I ignore the unctions to do so, because that ain't my man no more. If he gives me instruction, I'll pray for him, because I don't want to be disobedient. But this is what I say. When it comes down to it, when it comes down to a person covering you in prayer, you're going to feel when something changes. There's going to be a difference. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have somebody praying for you and ignoring that person. You can't have, because when that person makes a decision that they going to stop, you going to feel it, because you no longer going to have that covering. I just watched in my family 2 women that were married to their husbands for over 50 years pass away. These men no longer have coverings. And they passed away simultaneously. One died one day, the next one died within 48 hours of the other one. So when I heard this song, I didn't want to go there because I didn't want to think about this. But when I heard it, I said, this is what it sounds like when a person misses their opportunity. So this is for somebody out there that's at the potential point of missing your opportunity. And I want you to think about it like this. Pray God you can cope. Can you cope if you miss that opportunity? I'll stand outside this woman's worth. It's so hard on a man. Now his part is over. Now starts the craft of the Father. You will be left standing outside of the situation, the scenario, and the relationship that was always meant to be you. And you'll be on the opposite side of the glass looking as that person moves on with their life, living their life the way that they wanted to. And you'll be left outside. And that situation is going to turn in whatever way, but you couldn't be a part of it when you had the option to. Now starts the craft of the Father. Now you have to deal with yourself and deal with walking with God to figure out why you missed that thing. I know you got a little life in you left. I know you've got a lot of strength left. I know you've got a little life in you left. I know you've got a lot of strength left. Some of us have had to stand in positions in waiting for somebody. There are some that have stood in waiting and they've stood in a level of strength. Though they were publicly strong, their spirits were broken. Though they were dealing with internal things, they were broken. And there are some people that literally watched them go through that and ignored it. I should be crying, but I just can't let it show. Some people have operated in such a level of pride that they didn't want to show the side of themselves that will make them operate in a level of vulnerability that feels dangerous to them, feels scary to them. But they had to operate in pride because they could not show themselves. I should be hoping, but I can't stop thinking. They are petrified that the person is literally going to walk away from them. All the things we should have said that we never said. Think about this. Think about the fact that they had the opportunity. They knew who they were talking to. They knew who they were supposed to interact with, but they became too cowardice, too fearful, too shy, too intimidated that they never said anything. All the things we should have done that we never did. They knew that they were supposed to make a move toward this person and chose not to. But that now being able to see all the things that their life could have been like, but never was because of the fact that they made a decision not to take the leap when it was time to do so. They missed it. They missed the door. They missed the opportunity. Sometimes God will open that opportunity back up, but sometimes it'll take years for that to happen. But would you rather waste that time? All the things we should have given, but didn't. Oh, darling, make it go. When a person comes into the realization to the blessing that they missed, the opportunity to be a part of that person's life, given to that person's life, and that person be a blessing unto them. That was so deep. Would have been deep but they stood outside, and they missed it. Give me these moments. Give them back to me. The moments that you could have had you made the decision to walk on or take the leap into the situation, scenario, and relationship that the Lord was showing you that you could have had. Just like that woman in Songs of Solomon, she didn't open the door. And when she finally did open the door, the man was no longer there. And she's out in the street begging everybody, could you please send them back to me? Give me your little kiss. Give me your hand, baby. This person wanted to have contact with the person. Give me your pretty hand. I know you've got a lot of strength. And the person that they're seeking out, they know they had strength. But in knowing that they had strength, it took them in their fear because they had to make the decision to approach and offer their hand, feeling like it would be rejected. Show me you understand that if they came and they expressed themselves and showed who they were, that the person would understand their pain. You got a lot of strength left, your love child. I know you've got a little life in you left. Whatever you need. They want to be what you need, but they had to come to a place that when they went through the crafting and being reformed by the Father, in their time of wilderness, they would have been able to be received and be able to stand in that position to be what you need, to be that. Give me your love. With all that you had to go through, they want to be the person that you open your heart to, and vice versa for them. I should be crying, but I just can't let it show. These people operate in such a level of pride, but what's breaking them is the thought of missing it, the thought of missing out on it. I should be hoping, but I can't stop thinking. They are tormented by thoughts of if they miss it, they'll never get another opportunity at it. All the things we should have said that we never said. All the things we should have done that we never did. All the things that you wanted from me. All the things that you needed from me. All the things we should have given, but I didn't. Oh, darling, make it go away now. These people are tormented at the thought of missing out, but they're also tormented at the thought of stepping forward. A double-minded man is unstable in all their ways. So they're stuck between two decisions. They're at an impassive crossroad where they have to decide, either I'm going to take this leap and I'm going to go for it and get the opportunity to have the life that I always wanted, or I'm going to miss it and I'm going to lose out on everything. Oh, darling, make it go away. Just make it go away. So that is what the Lord showed me, the perspective of that song, because that song was literally, or at least the way he originally did it, was about a person having lost a person that passed away. But look at it at the perspective, especially for those of us waiting on kingdom marriage. What if they just missed it? What if they just had the opportunity to take a step forward and they were too cowardice to do something about it? And they just didn't. And I did want to talk about this because I feel personally that my relationship is going to be solid, that this person doesn't have this issue, but somebody's might. And I hope that this makes you think. Maybe this is what's been taking so long. But they're stuck in their thoughts, they're stuck in their mind, and they're stuck in their heart. Because they're afraid that you're not going to understand and you're going to reject them. So, are you going to be the one that's going to be willing to wait? Or are you going to move on and allow this person that's standing outside that was ready at the door? Because the enemy always going to send a counterfeit just before the real thing comes. Are you going to let the real thing stand on the outside of the glass and watch? When they got all the courage that they could muster up and was just about ready, but they missed it. God can make the moment come, but one of their deepest fears is they're going to miss it. They're going to lose your prayers. They're going to lose that part of you. It's food for thought. Until next time, bye-bye.